If you implement these 5 things, they're going to drastically change the amount of money you make per month and plus improve every area of your life. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to go over 5 things that I just really see that are like a big issue in the space and one thing that can be affecting your money. So if you're new to who it is that I am, my name's Elliot Drake. I'm the founder of House of Influence and landclients.com, and this channel is all about how to grow your own marketing agency and just overall online business and help you on your journey. And let's just jump right into it, actually. So the first thing that I want to address is your health, and specifically your sleep. There's been dozens of studies done that show how sleep actually affects like your life and who you are as a person and your overall productivity level. So one thing that you guys can do is like start to get 8 hours of sleep. Like actually make your sleep a priority. There's so many people out there that are like, they're like hustle, and they don't really talk about the importance of getting enough sleep. And so like a lot of people think like kind of like the Gary V style is they think that like the more you work and the less sleep you get, the farther you're going to go. But really, like if you look at the studies, it's actually not the case, because whenever you don't get enough sleep and your body isn't rested, and like your body needs to rest. Like for one, if you don't get enough sleep, your memories aren't going to be as strong. So the stuff that you're learning or things you're doing, you're going to forget it, and just your overall efficiency and your productivity level is going to be down. So one thing that you guys can do is you can buy something called an Oura ring that is right here, and it tracks all of my sleep. So I'll show you what it does. It tracks like your REM sleep, and it tracks everything straight onto your iPhone. And this has like helped me so much, like in the overall, like how much I get done throughout the day. Because I used to be one of those people, I used to just work like an insane amount of hours and just think like that was actually better for me. But whenever I started using my Oura ring, I actually saw an increase in the overall like amount of stuff I was able to get done. So if you look here, throughout the day, it gives you like a readiness score. So you can see here, this was only a 68 on the day, which isn't that great. But so how I use this is that every morning when I wake up, it gives me like a readiness score depending on like, the kind of sleep I get. So you can see here that it shows like the total amount of sleep that I got, REM sleep, all this stuff, and tells me how the day goes. So the way that I utilize this is that whenever I have really like important tasks to do that are kind of complex and take a lot of mental power, what I will do is if I wake up one day and my readiness score is low and it shows that I'm not going to be, my brain is not going to like be able to work as much as possible, I'll put those off for a different day as long as they're not like super urgent. Okay, so one thing you need to do is focus on your sleep. Make sure you get enough sleep. Do more research on it. Like you'll be surprised the research that you find. You're going to see you're going to see an improvement in your productivity level, like your mental sharpness, and just your ability to make decisions, and just overall it's going to make your life better, which is going to affect your income, because if you're doing things for your business and you have a clear headspace, it's just going to make everything better. And then also that goes with that is your diet. You have to treat your body like a machine. Like your body is a machine, and like the food you put in it is what's going to affect the energy that you give out. So if you're putting really crappy food in, you're going to get a crappy result. You're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel tired, and then you're going to use lots of caffeine to subsidize that drogginess, and then you're going to have a crash and you want more coffee. And so it's just going to jumble up your head, and your life is just not going to be as great as if you just eat healthy. So that is our first point. All right, the next point is more of in business. So what most people do is that they build a product or service, and what they do is they focus 80% on trying to market it and sell it, and only 20% of actually making sure that that service and that product is world class, which is actually going to hurt you in the long run. And the reason is because a really great story is that we had some people come over to the house the other day, and they own a flooring company, right? And they did $2.2 million in business last year just from referrals. So think about that for a second. So if you're trying to build a sustainable business and a business that lasts a long time, you need to focus on your customers and getting good results for the people that you're already serving, because those people are the most important. Because what is the most powerful form of marketing? It's word of mouth. So if you can really focus most of your time on delivering a quality and amazing product or service to your customers, that is going to add longevity to your business and allow you to thrive. We see it a lot in this space. Like, people are releasing horrible programs, they're releasing, doing a horrible service, and they have an insane turnover rate, especially in the agency sector. And so one way that you can stand out and make yourself stay in business for a long time and plus build a brand is by offering as much value as you possibly can to that person. Whether you have a product, make sure that product is, if you bought that product, it's your business, say that you were the customer, would you be happy with the service or the product that you're providing? So if I were to buy my own, say I was in my client's shoes and I were to pay for my services, would I love that service? If that is not a 100% yes, then you're doing something wrong. So really focus on your service and your product, and make sure that they're world class, because that is what's going to allow you to basically have a big business and allow your business to grow. And the marketing stuff will just come second, because if you do a good job, word of mouth is going to happen and more people are just going to come to you naturally inbound. So number 2 is focus more on your product or your service and less on your marketing. Number 3 is that most people mistake being busy for actually being productive. So this was an issue that I also had. For the longest time, I thought that, I just needed to work 24/7, and the more work that I was doing, the better I was, right? But that is actually really far from the case. And so one thing that I did was that I drew out everything that I was doing in my business, like YouTube, editing videos and doing client work and prospecting and, working on building products and working on, the vision and, hiring and all these freaking pieces that come with running a business, right? And so I was doing most of it. For the longest time, I was trying to do all of it myself because I thought that would be better. But what I did was I wrote out everything out, and I was figuring out what is signal and what is noise. So what are the core things that actually make my business better and actually bring in revenue versus they're just nonsense. And so then what I did was I figured out what was the nonsense, and then what was nonsense that I could cut out, because it's more about finding things that you can cut out of your business and less about adding more things on. Because the simpler the process is, the easier it is to scale. The more complex it is, the harder. And so what I did was cut out the things that I really didn't need to be doing, and the things I needed to be doing but weren't worth my time, that were a direct reflection in revenue, I outsourced it to other people and paid them, right? Because you think that outsourcing and paying other people is bad, but really it's good, because then it opens up your book to where I only focus on bringing new deals in and making a really good experience for the customer, which is what is going to actually impact the longevity of your business and also bring more revenue in, right? So for instance, YouTube videos, all that stuff, outsource. You see what I'm saying? And all those different pieces. So in your business, in your life, figure out what things are signal, which are the things that you really need to be focusing on, and the things that are noise, which are the things that you can cut out. Number 4 is that everybody is focusing on what other people are doing. And this is really big. And honestly, I used to do it all the time, is that you follow all these influencers and all these different gurus and stuff like that, and you're worried about what they're doing, trying to figure out the next best thing. And it's just really, it's just not good for your mental space. It just really isn't. So what you need to be doing is just focusing on, okay, what are your goals? Get clear on your goals and the thing that you're trying to achieve, and then put all your force into that. Cut everybody out. We were just talking about this earlier, being don't let people affect you. No matter what anybody says, or influencers, I was going to say, but I can't really say that on YouTube, but you get the point. Don't let other people's opinions and what other people are doing derail you from what you're doing that's already working, because that happens all the time. All right, number 5, and this is the last one, is that most people, they don't focus on one thing. they just niche hop. Like they hop to all these different things. Like they're trying to figure out what is the next best thing. And so like it could be, 1 month they're trying to do SMMA, and then the next month they're trying to build an e-commerce store, and the next month they want to start an ATM business, when like none of them are successful. They're just trying to get rich quick and trying to find the easiest solution to the end goal, which most people's end goal is, freedom, being able to have the fancy things, all that, which is great. But really what you're doing is you're hurting yourself. Because like for me, for instance, like I've been in this about 3 years. I've been like learning stuff for about 4 years, trying to make, an actual business work. I started my very first business, like actual business, and made money on the side back in freshman year of high school. And then, I've always like kind of flipped things before that, but I started a sneaker like flipping business, and then that ended up really not making money. So then I started a clothing line, and then that clothing line lost me $6,000 because I didn't understand online marketing, which led me to online marketing, which then I've been doing that for a long time, and I've been able to be successful and actually make a living doing that, and a good living, and being able to travel and do all that great stuff, which was my dream. And the thing that I credit that to is that I stuck with one thing long enough to reap the benefits of it. You're never going to, like, it's great to branch off into other businesses, but what most people are doing is that they try it for like a short amount of time, and then they don't get results. And so then they niche hop, they try something else. Oh, this is dead, or you know what I'm saying? Or this isn't for me, right? Because like starting a business is hard. Like it's not easy. There's a lot of stress involved, but it's actually like a lot of highs and lows. And so people, whenever they get into a low spot, they'll allow that to, they immediately, their like defense mechanism is to switch, because it's comfortable to say, oh, this is just not working. So they put the blame on that instead of themselves, and taking responsibility and realizing that it just takes work, and just staying in that niche long enough to be able to reap the benefits. Because if you stay in one space enough for a long enough time, you're going to become an expert in it, and you're going to figure out how to get the results that you really want. And then once you get to that point, well, then you can automate your business. You can, hire people, get people on your team. You can do all this different stuff to where you can actually get yourself out of the business to where you have time to then branch off into other avenues, right? Because like one thing that I realize is that like the main thing is like if you stick with one thing, make something work. Because like cash flow, being able to have a consistent cash flow in is like the most important, which we've talked about this on the channel and everything. But also build up enough capital in the one thing to where then you can invest in all this other stuff, right? Like, and I have you have the money to be able to afford to take risks with other businesses and all this other stuff. So that's basically it for the last one, is just don't niche hop. Like figure out what you want to do. Figure out the best thing, that like the best business model that fits like who you are, and run with it, because it's not going to be easy. There's so many marketers and people out there trying to scream things at your face, like, start making 6 figures in, 3 months, which like there's some people that do that. Don't get me wrong. Like there's some special occasions where people get into something at the right time, and they're just wicked smart, or whatever the case is, right? And they make a lot of money. But for the majority, like for me, it's taken me 3 years, right? But it was just a trial and error. So that's why like my YouTube's here, is to help people within these different things, right? To like help take what I've learned through all these different mistakes that I've made and be able to shortcut the path for you guys, right? So just focus on one thing, okay? That's all I say. Just focus on one thing, and I promise that is going to do, like that's just gonna help your life tremendously. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know other videos you want to see. This channel is my way of giving back, trying to help you guys, and so I just want to be able to do that and add as much value in any ways that I possibly can. So this has been Elliot Drake. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow.